Alright, this video is long overdue, but I'll keep spoilers to a minimum in here for the 0.5% of you who haven't seen this movie. So, other than that, most of you know what happens, but let's just dive right into it with Star Wars The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi takes place about a few minutes after The Force Awakens ends. Basically, the First Order has found the base of the Resistance, and Rey has gone off to see Luke on the Jedi planet, and stuff happens. I'm going to keep spoilers to a minimum, but what are my current thoughts on this movie? It's really good, except for a couple parts. I'll get into what I like about the movie first of all. First off, Mark Hamill is really good as Luke Skywalker. It was just so cool to see him come back to this role. And it's a much different Luke than he was in Return of the Jedi. He's a little bit disillusioned. He's lost his faith, but you don't know really why he's lost his faith until you see the events of the movie progress. Daisy Ridley was really good as Rey. You get a little more of her backstory in this movie. You get a little bit more of who Rey is as a person. They do a lot more in terms of developing her character, because at the first time you see her in The Force Awakens, you don't really know much about her, but you're interested in her. You're interested to learn more about this girl. Her relationship with Luke is pretty much, mentor and pupil. And yeah, I can't give away much without giving away what actually happens. John Boyega was great as Finn, and Oscar Isaac was really good as Poe Dameron, though their arcs are pretty separate. Finn is going off with this girl named Rose to try and find somebody that can help them with something. Spoilers. And Poe is having trouble dealing with Holdo, played by Laura Dern. She is kind of, something happens to Leia, which keeps her out of commission for a while, and she takes over as basically the leader. And she has a plan for everybody, but, and this annoyed me so much in the movie, she doesn't tell anybody the plan. Or at least, she never tells Poe the plan. And when she's keeping the plan from him, you feel like she's keeping the plan from us as the audience watching the movie. So the entire time you're just frustrated with her. In the end, it turns out to be a good plan, but it's a plan where you would want every single person on this ship to know the plan. So when you keep it from him, it just doesn't make any sense. It's basically an evacuation plan. And I watched that and I'm like, that's a good plan, but why didn't you tell anybody? I figured evacuation plan, you would want everybody on the ship to know what's going on. Adam Driver was really good as Kylo Ren. I was never a giant Kylo Ren fan, maybe just because you killed Han Solo. But he was good. You get a little more into his backstory, what his motivations are, why he hates Luke, and you see more of him and Snoke, who Snoke is not in this movie very long. Snoke, he is good for what he is. Again, he's not in this movie very long. Don't think of him as being this great presence that the Emperor in Return of the Jedi was. He's alright. I mean, it's Andy Serkis. He's great. You see he has the ability to do Force Lightning, which was kind of cool the way he does it. He kind of shoots it at the ground, it deflects, and hits Kylo Ren in the face. And another thing I really liked in this movie is just the characters, how they all interacted with each other. How Rey and Kylo Ren are connected, how Rey and Luke work with each other, what Snoke is like with Kylo Ren, and it's really good, but the only thing I didn't like in the movie is what most people had a problem with. There's this whole scene that takes place at like some kind of space casino. You get to see Benicio del Toro's character, DJ, who has an unbelievably fake stutter, but he annoyed me in the movie. And the thing is, if Holdo had told them what the plan was, the casino scene would never have happened. So basically, if she had just told them the plan, we could have done without that whole casino scene. It would be gone. The pacing in this movie it's all right for the most part, but there's some scenes where it'll be on the island, it'll be really interesting, and then it cuts back to the casino scene. Then it's scenes on the ship, and then it cuts back to the island scenes. But the scenes you really want to see are more of Luke and Rey on the island. The casino scene, again, you know how I feel about it already, so I'm not going to say it again, but the scenes on the island where they're exploring the Force and the dark side and what Luke thinks of the Force now. And my two favorite scenes in the movie are, one is on the island where Luke is he's going to burn down the Jedi tree, he's going to burn all the sacred texts because he's just had it, he's just had enough. And then out of nowhere, puppet Force Ghost Yoda pops in. And that was so cool. It is Frank Oz's voice as Yoda, so that makes it even better. And Luke's just like, I'm gonna burn it down, I swear, this thing is gonna get burned down. Maybe I can't do it. And then Yoda, he's holding his cane. I don't have a cane here to hold on to, but he's holding his cane, he leans down his head, raises his one finger, and then just Shazam! Lightning bolt comes down, destroys the tree, and Luke's like, dude, what the hell? Yoda walks up to him and just goes, are the texts, read them, did you? Page turners, they were not. My favorite line in the movie. And the other scene is probably the only cool thing that Holdo, I keep saying Hodor, but it's not Hodor. Admiral Holdo does is when the First Order is firing on the ships of the Resistance. All the people are trying to escape to this one planet. When they're firing on them, she takes her ship, the last ship, points it right at the First Order ship, and then she puts in the light speed, and then everything goes silent, and all you see is the ship just bursting through it. And it's completely dead silent. You see the ship going through it. It's one of the most visually amazing things I've ever seen in a Star Wars movie. And I just saw that and I thought that was really cool. That's one of my favorite scenes in the movie. So what worked in this movie for me? The characters were great for the most part. The action was good. The lightsaber fights were cool. There aren't that many, but they were cool. Mark Hamill as Luke, Carrie Fisher as Leia, Daisy Ridley as Rey, and everything on the island has problems. Don't get me wrong, this movie does have some problems. But like I said before, it was great, except for the parts where it was a little dumb. Final verdict of the movie, I'm going to give it a solid 7 out of 10. It's a great movie. Again, it's not a perfect movie, but it's worth your time. Alright, there's my review of Star Wars The Last Jedi, my very long-awaited review of Star Wars The Last Jedi. But what did you guys think of the movie? By the way, if you want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram, I have a link to my profiles down there in the description box. Feel free to subscribe. And as always, peace be with y'all. Have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.